Heyo, Hudson here with Planet 4 Gaming. I am driving the Panzer 4G. It is a 3.7 battle rating German medium tank. As you can see, I'm in the replay right now because, well, I'm sure you've noticed I don't really upload tank videos much to the channel anymore. Not that I ever really did. I think there's 4 on the channel so far. Because there's a lot of bullshit in tank battles, and it's annoying, and I don't really know, I'm not really very experienced in tanks anyway, so I don't really feel comfortable trying to talk about it in a video that much. But I had a really good game here, and obviously since I wasn't recording, I just did the replay and recorded that. So to open the game, I've kind of parked myself towards the back of the map, towards our spawn, in an attempt to defend C from the enemy who are attacking it, trying to capture the C point. So until they slow their advance, I'm going to sit here and just try and stop anyone who's approaching. And I'm trying to make my way towards the side, so as I advance I can flank, and that should work pretty well. So now we're just kind of sitting around after getting 1 kill. I tried to hit that Crusader AA, but he was moving pretty fast towards cover and I didn't get a chance to hit him. Cromwell turns at the last second and somehow avoids my round. I don't know how that happened. Friggin' just drifted out of the way. But doesn't really matter. Just gonna sit for a few more minutes and fast forward for the viewers and advance. And I can see someone's hit this Cromwell. The indicator came up, so I kind of turned towards that, but I don't have direct line of sight on him, so when I shot at him I aimed a little too far to the left and did not get a hit. And then I can see where he was by the geyser of flame that spouts up when someone does actually hit him. So now, after getting rammed by my Flak 88 teammate, I'm going to start my advance. It's pretty clear at this point that the enemy is not going on the offensive anymore. They're going to have to play more defensively. We've captured the B point and we're holding it pretty well. So I'm going to move up, still in a flanking attempt, and see if I can get any side shots on any enemies. And this is on Eastern Europe, the smaller version of the map, which is really good for that type of play, and really good for this tank in general. It's very good at medium ranges. The gun is very accurate and does a lot of damage. It's really one of the best guns in the game, I think, and definitely at this tier. The only thing that really rivals it is the 76mm on the M10 gun motor carriage. Finally landing a shot on this T-34. It was very hard to hit him because there's only a small fraction of his tank sticking out above those logs. Do manage to penetrate his breach and kill one of his crew. Next shot counts as a hit because I damaged his viewport, but did not actually penetrate the tank. So I kind of give up on him for a little bit and look to see that no one's trying to flank me, because I've fired a few rounds and someone may have noticed that, but it appears that that is not the case, and we have the Flak 88 advancing to the town, so someone's going to hit him before he hits me. So I'm going to look back at the T-34, but unfortunately, my aim is really bad. I'm going to start using the word unfortunately a lot now. Actually, no, I'm not. But my aim is really wild. Apparently I was not able to zero in the sights as they were before. Achilles at close range harassing my 8.8 centimeter flak gun. I take him out easily. He's got very thin armor. Even though he was angled, it didn't help him. Glance over at that T-34 again, but I decided I'm going to need to advance more. The enemy actually tried to capture B So I'm going to try and get line of sight on B, or at least on enemies advancing. I see this Cromwell hit his transmission. Before he can turn his gun to return fire, I take out his crew, and that's it for him. That's my third kill. So, gonna move up towards more cover. I was actually quite out in the open when I took out that Cromwell, so I'm gonna try and find another hill with a lot of bushes on it. This spot looks pretty good for now. I am a little bit exposed, because if I go in reverse, I'll have to crest the hill again, but I get a good shot on that T-34. One shot through the side armor, and he's gone. So, looking around again. Not much in sight at the moment. I'm going to sit here for a little bit to see if anyone pokes out, and if not, I'll try and find a new spot. And that's what I'm doing. Looks like they're capturing B again, so I'm going to try and go back to where I was and see if I can see who's doing that. Cromwell, will I be able to get a shot on him? Gotta nudge that bush out of the way first. And one shot through the side, ammo racked him, and he's history. So, one good kill. But surely there are more in the area if they were able to capture the objective. We had plenty of tanks around there. So I'm going to stay in this spot for a little bit. I will have to move eventually because someone will probably figure out I'm there. But a Sherman comes through. One shot into his engine, that's going to stop him. And right now I make a little bit of a mistake. I switched to heat rounds and they have lower penetration, so I figure they're good for the side, higher explosive count, but they drop quite a bit more than the APC-BC. And when I do actually get a hit, they don't really seem to have much explosive power, because that's 2 hits right near the ammo, and it didn't really do anything. So I switch back to APC-BC, and that'll knock out the crew. So I'm probably not going to use heat much. If anyone knows more about what advantages it has, please let me know, because I don't fucking know what any of this shit is. The round you start with seems to be the best on a lot of German tanks, so that's what I tend to use. But I wanted to try out heat, because it says it has more explosive filler, so a little bit disappointing there. Got sights on Crusader AA. Take aim. Can I see him? There he is. Line up. Fire. And take out both of the crew on the turret. And that's enough to get the kill. Actually set him on fire. I guess I blew up the ammo racks. So that's my 7th kill of the game. And as far as I know, no one's fired on me yet. The Cromwell and the Sherman there almost did, especially the Sherman. He had plenty of chances with all those rounds I wasted on him, but did get him before he managed to return fire. And that kind of makes it so I can't really explain to you the armor of this tank, or at least demonstrate the armor of this tank, which is not actually very good. It's all flat, so ricochets are very rare. Obviously sloped armor tanks like the T-34 and even the M4 Sherman are much better for that. If you angle it, it is pretty good, but I'm not very good at that. It's basically luck when that manages to work out for me. And that goes for the armor all around. On the hull and the turret, it's pretty much all weak. The main advantage of this tank is its gun, which I think is actually very good. It's a much longer barrel than almost everything at this tier. The T-34s and M4s all have very short barrels. And I really prefer medium tanks to any other class of armored vehicle. I don't prefer tank destroyers and even heavy tanks, with the exception of like the Tiger tank, Tiger H1, and the M10 Wolverine I actually like a lot too. But the M10 has the advantage of a rotating turret. Stuff like the Stugs I generally don't like because they don't have a turret. Okay, so managed to recapture A, or maybe that was the first time anyone captured A. But anyway, captured A, and I'm going to flank around, and I can see that Cromwell advancing on A. So I'm going to avoid these bombs dropped by an enemy bomber, and turn to engage that Cromwell. But I managed to see a Crusader AA, or AC Mark II AA, firing at my planes, get a quick shot on him, take out his gunners, and that'll get me my 8th kill. So it was basically luck. Since I had to run from those bombs, I extended out further than I normally would and happened to get good line of sight on him. So yeah, lucky shot, lucky setup, I guess. And now I'm going to head for A. The Cromwell has almost captured it. Don't want that. And I think this is actually him. I thought maybe there's another tank capturing it, but that's a dead tank. So, I'm gonna keep advancing. I can see the Cromwell is not facing me, I think, and that's why I used binoculars to scope out the surrounding area. I guess I was more afraid of getting killed than not getting the kill. I can't really see why I did that instead of just charging straight towards the Cromwell. But I don't really mind, because there were more people doing a lot of work and killing him, so they should be rewarded instead of having me steal all the kills. Got enough already. So, we're going to recapture A. Definitely recapturing it this time. And I'm just going to point my tank towards the enemy spawn to see if anyone decides to come in looking for a fight. And in a few moments I will see this Valentine. Yep, there he is. Quick shot through the frontal armor, kills every crew member, and that is my 9th and final kill. 9 kills, 2 base captures, no assists as far as I know, and no deaths. Probably my best game in any tank in War Thunder. I've had a few decent ones in the T-34. T-34-85 to be specific. But yeah, I think this is by far my best game. I'm sure there's plenty of you who have gotten over 10 kills and no deaths, but I'm not very good at tanks, so this is a big deal for me. So, hopefully that was enjoyable. I know some people really enjoy watching tank games, and even though I don't play them much, when I do have a good game, I like to upload a video for you people. So, hopefully that was good for you. It's fun for me. A few pointers on the Panzer IV-G. The Panzer IV F2 is actually still my favorite medium tank overall because it gets better matchmaking. It's at a 3.3 battle rating, while this is a 3.7. Or maybe it's 3.7 and 4.0. I might be remembering wrong. But in any case, the reason I drove out in this thing is that it can have in the lineup the Wirbelwind and the Stug 3F, I want to say, which are at its battle rating, while the Panzer IV F2 is lower. And the Wirbelwind is the big thing in that lineup. It's a much better anti-air vehicle than the 37mm half-track, which is basically a piece of shit. So yeah, I really enjoy the Wirbelwind as an anti-air vehicle. So if I die right away, I can fall back on that and shoot down 1 or 2 planes and get another good spawn. While with the Panzer IV F2, if I want to stay at its battle rating, I'll have to use the half-track, and I probably won't get any anti-air kills in that. It's just got a low rate of fire, and it's hard to aim that gun. But yeah, on its own merits, I do prefer the Panzer IV F2. They're basically the same tank, to be honest. I don't think they have any different rounds, maybe heat rounds. I know this gets the smoke grenade launchers or whatever. I haven't used it yet. Same armor, add-on armor, same mobility, which is not particularly amazing, not as good as the T-34, but probably a little bit better than the Sherman, and pretty shitty armor, which is whatever. You want to be firing from medium ranges, medium to long range, not getting in close quarters brawls in this thing. So that should about cover it. Don't really want to get too informative because I don't think I'm really qualified to. But if you want to add in any commentary, just leave a comment below and say what you think about this tank, and I'll be sure to respond to that. So yeah, this has been Hudson with P4G. Thank you for watching, and get the fuck out of here.